Quite recently, Jazwares acquired the license to Five Nights at Freddy's from Funko, which isn't good for Funko, but it's pretty good for everyone else. So basically from now on, Jazwares is in charge of the production of merch, and they'll produce things like FNAF related plushes and action figures. I actually got this Squishmallow pillow thing of Golden Freddy, and no, this isn't the topic of the video, nor is this the first time one of my interests got turned into a marketable plushie pillow, but I'm bringing both of these up today because they're both relevant to today's topic. One of the most coveted pieces of merchandise this partnership between Five Nights at Freddy's and Jazwares produced is the Endo series. The Endo series are basically these more detailed, articulated action figures, quite similar to the Funko FNAF action figures from back in the day. Now, Jazwares themselves actually released two lines of these figures. Where you have the Endo series, you also have the World of FNAF line. These have a lower entry price and actually have a jump scare play feature where you press this lever in the back and the character swings its arms up and opens its jaws, similar to how the character jump scares you in the game. The only problem I have with the World of FNAF figures is that because of the play feature, they had to get rid of head articulation, and also their arms can't really stay in place anymore because of the jump scare play feature. I find that in the case of Freddy at least, resting his hands on his own belly is a good workaround to this, but I did want something more articulated, and many people did as well. So Jazwares also released the Endo series, basically deluxe versions of the World of FNAF figures. And recently, GameStop restocked Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, and I jumped on the opportunity and bought Bonnie and Freddy. One thing that was annoying ordering from GameStop was the fact that they're like $10 more than ordering from Jazwares themselves, and on top of that, two figures don't even give you free shipping. But I wanted to make a video talking about these toys before they were even released, and plus, I was already mulling on buying the GameStop exclusive Golden Freddy Squishmallow anyways, so I decided to just hit two stones with one bird and purchase them. And here they are. Now, you might be wondering how this ties into the title of the video, but look, right there in the middle of the box. What is that, you might be asking? If you're not familiar with the series, that's the endoskeleton. They're the inner structure of the animatronics from the series. They can be reused and retrofitted with other parts to create different characters for the Fazbear pizzerias. Still confused by how this ties into Lego? Well, have you ever seen one of these things? See, now you're getting it. The endoskeletons are basically CCBS, or better put, plain Hero Factory frames. This line as of now comes with two characters per set. Both animatronics included are broken up into shells, and you're supposed to build the character by placing the pieces on this silver dude. Of course, you could build the character how they look on the box, but on top of that, you can also mix and match pieces, or if you buy more than one of them, you can display two characters from the same box at once. Something neat about the endoskeletons too is the fact that you can disassemble it down to the eyes, meaning you have all these limbs to play around and customize with. The endoskeleton is very posable without all the animatronic shells on it, and I kinda wish the figures could be a little more articulated when all the animatronic armor is on them. But I imagine the animatronics being super posable and articulated would take away from the realism of how the clunky, large animatronics actually move in the series. To me, this whole build system is very similar to the ones used in Hero Factory or G2 BIONICLE, albeit of course very dumbed down. So in any case, this is more like the second wave of canister heroes from Hero Factory, where the small hero sets used like zero traditional Technic pieces. The ball and socket joints also use a softer plastic material that can take a good amount of pressure but still have a great amount of clutch power, something that I feel LEGO themselves can learn if they ever want to take Bionicle seriously and try again. I actually hope one day they release the characters either individually or at least sell the endoskeletons alone. But more importantly, I hope Jazwares fixes availability issues because I and many others would like to get more of these without having to pay exuberant prices from third-party sellers or scalpers. But yeah, being a Bionicle fan who has kind of accepted LEGO won't create another theme centered around Technic ball and socket joints, I'm happy that at least Jazwares has given me another option. If you're an early 2000s kid who was too young for most of G1 Bionicle, but just old enough for Hero Factory and G2 Bionicle, who also happen to be a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, I highly recommend you check the Endo series out. Just don't buy them from scalpers. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. Thanks for watching, and if you would consider subscribing, liking, and commenting if you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate it. More videos coming out soon, so stick around.